Good evening. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your SPDR-ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening as we're here now on Tuesday, the 19th of December, 2023. All right, my friends, it doesn't stop the rally. It just keeps going in all the stock indices. I was the biggest bull starting in September, and even I'm in awe. My jaw just drops as to the power that this market has had and how it keeps going. And now, of course, you're in the Santa Claus rally period, which is the 5 trading days before Christmas to the first 2 after. And those are trading days. That's how it works. Does it have to work? No. But that is the time frame for that type of seasonal trade that Mr. Yale Hirsch discovered out of Stock Trader's Almanac, and then others have expanded on it with different theories, shortening, lengthening of days, but that's the original theory from the man that did it. When I take a look at bonds and notes, they keep rallying. Amazon down a little, but not cheap enough to buy, in my opinion. When we take a look at the auto stocks, up another 55 cents in Rivian. So this is a stock that was under 20 recently, not staying there. Most of the automakers are up because they're cutting their losses. They're going to produce fewer cars. They're going to do hybrids. They're going to do what makes them money. They're not going to get caught in this. And under the wisdom of this administration, better take a look in 2024 just how many electric cars will qualify for the federal discount, because they're not going to have all those parts that they need made in America to qualify. I was reading an article on it today. You know, that's the beauty of reading. You get to see all these crazy things during the day, and my job, part of it, I get paid to read. That way I can talk semi-qualified on subjects. I didn't say intelligently, semi-qualified. I don't know that I'm intelligent. The metal markets moving to the upside. I'm liking what gold is doing. You know, is gold coming alive because of events in the Red Sea? It could be. It just could be. You know, the coalition's there. We haven't done anything. The question is, will the Houthis test the coalition? Generally, they do. Will we do the right things? What are the right things? Take them out. There's no other right answer. That's the answer. Go get them if that's it. But give them your warnings first. Do everything and give them the fairness of, if you do this, now the coalition's put together. The coalition is there. We have the arms. We need practice. We're ready to take you out. Could it be any simpler? And if we can't handle Yemen, what the heck are we wasting our tax dollars on in America? And I'm sure the UK feels the same way. The Spanish, the Netherlands, Bahrain, everybody that's putting money into keeping this coalition together has to be asking the same thing. And I know everybody's scared the war will spill over. The war isn't going to spill over. Do you honestly think that Iran's going to join the war for the Houthis? They'll guide it. They'll put money behind it. Did you see those vast tunnels in Gaza? My amazement is I'm the only person mentioning millions, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars instead of going to the people. We're a labyrinth of almost every inch under that area has got a tunnel somewhere. By the way, didn't Israel know that was all going on the whole time? I mean, they've got satellites, they got all their goodies. So this is where the money's been going in a large part, but these people are the right ones to run the country if there's a 2-nation state. You think so? Okay, I understand the oppression that Israel did to them, so do not think I'm one-sided. I've never said that's right. Never. I believe that it's wrong, fully wrong. But you don't kill the civilians to get to the Hamas, and at some point they said world is going to work against it. I understand the rage. I understand the 1,400 or 1,200 that were killed, depending how you want to count the number. And I understand the 18,000 killed just now in retaliation. And I understand the years of suppression. Remember, Israel didn't even have a country until the end of World War II. There is no right. And that's what I want to go on record saying. There is no right. The only right is find peace in some manner. We haven't done it in thousands of years there. I don't know that it won't be thousands more, but a doorway is there if you're going to end this, and you got to force it on everybody as the world. Really do. as much as you can. At the end of the day, Israel's a sovereign nation. Who knows where they'll go with it? Redfin, well, this isn't a sovereign nation. This is a chart action that is coiling. Is it going to gap up and go again? If you know, anything that says interest rates are going to drop again or mortgages will get that going. Is it going to try to fill that gap is really the biggest question we have working. The pattern is one of higher lows, higher highs. It is absolutely, as far as I'm concerned, in the bull camp until the market takes out the 906 area. The market has gotten over the 200-day average. It's had a bullish crossover where the 18 has gotten over the 100. And now the question is the 18 going to go after the 200? If so, you're going to lift this market potentially even more. When I take a look at Bollinger Bands, here's what's stopping the rally. You keep coming to it. You got over it for 2 days, but then you pull back. You've got to understand what a Bollinger Band is. You can drag it along and move it up. It's not going sideways. It's going higher, but staying over it 5% of the time. So when you get there, you're in rarefied air. The market can go sideways to let the band catch up with it. The band generally doesn't lead the market until after some sideways action. Just watch how it's done, and you'll understand that. So on pullbacks, I'm going to guess the support's going to come in here at the 200-day average, and the resistance is the Bollinger Band, and you're bullish. Oh, and by the way, you have an embedded reading. Now, to me, where the correction will stand the best chance of coming in is when the red line closes back underneath 79. Notice yesterday, 79.76, and we talked about it. I said, if it's going to fill the gap, it's got to be now, because if it gets stronger, then it can re-embed, and then you get another game, and that's what happened. So the market decided, nah, I had it, I'm not going to fill the gap, and I'm coming back up here. Now, if it goes to fill the gap, you probably do lose the embedded reading and go even further than filling the gap. In Rivian, you're 4 days in a row now over the upper Bollinger Band? Nah. I'm the big bull, and I wouldn't ever tell a client to buy over it. But I did tell you it was ready to go, and I was right in the analysis there. In UGA, all right, so the gasoline fund, why is this up? Red Sea. What's going on in the Mideast? All that come into play. Oil prices going up because now the ships have to go another 11 days if we don't open these channels. And every day there's a tanker at sea that costs. And somebody's paying for it. Guess who at the end of the day pays for it? That drives the price of the crude higher in the end. The crude could be one level, then you got to add your shipping costs to it. So when it gets to dock, I want a certain amount of money. That's how I'm going to deliver it. I want this. And that's how these prices get set. And we are going to pay for that. So it's to the benefit of this whole coalition if they want to see energy prices come down to get the Red Sea open. This is not the 1980s where you could take a few ships and you can escort them the way we did then against Iran. Again, it was Iran. This time it's one of their surrogates, if you will. This time there's too much traffic. We don't have the ability to do that. So you've really got to go in there and in most cases take out the problem. We had this problem, was it 2 years ago? Remember those speed ships that Iran was getting and into the Strait of Hormuz, and they'd hit and run and do this all the time? Well, who do you think they gave those ships to and all these drones to? Who do you think got the money to build all those tunnels? Where'd that come from? Where do you think? I'm willing to bet across the sea. All right. XLI. Higher lows, higher highs, fully embedded. This one has got me surprised because when you look at the New York Empire Index and the other, you don't see the strength in industrial activity. This market's just picked it up and run with it. So it's ahead of the market, in my opinion. Who cares? It's in a bull trend until it's not. And to me, the guide will be when the red line closes under 79. That'll be your correction time. AMC just going sideways, coiling here. You know my thought. It's going to wait until after the first of the year. And then if it starts coming out the top, it'll build on itself into the summer months, is my guess. We'll see if I'm right. And by the way, Beyonce's release, why is nobody talking about it? It didn't do that much for this at this point in time. Taylor Swift's release, that's all that I'm saying. gave the market a base, and I guess Beyonce's is stopping it from falling further. So let's say that these two superstars, their concerts there are doing the job. So that's fascinating. I was reading today about the Sphere in Las Vegas and U2 playing at it and what the experience is. I made myself a promise I'm going to go there and experience that. I'm not a gambler in Las Vegas. I'm a terrible, terrible person to go to Vegas for a gambling. I love the shows. I love the dining. Who doesn't like to walk around, spend a few bucks into shopping? It's all fun. Vegas is fun. Not now. You want it to be a little warmer. So having gone to college in Arizona for years, I know the weather in the desert. You wait for the end of January and then things get pretty again. RSPD coming up, and you can see where the market is working itself right through there. XHB, still bullish in the home builders. I'm still definitely there. ITB, all these, still liking what I'm seeing. The energy service sector. Well, you can see what this is. As you watch the energy sector, you know the Red Sea event that's taking place. In addition, if everybody really starts lowering their rates, let's say the second quarter of the year, that's going to spur on activity. Activity is energy demand. They equate one with the other. Now, I just read today an article where the U.S. shale producers are going to cut their CapEx by 4% for next year. And then you'll say, well, that's going to produce less. No, it isn't. And the reason it isn't, the technology's that much better. These guys have figured out how to go in and do more with less. And the end result is we're producing more with less production costs to produce that. Not a bad business, I'll tell you. GLD, higher highs, higher lows. We've opened the door as a chart technician to make a run to the 191.60 area. The key is not to get back under 186.82. From where you're at, that's about $2 and change. And if you don't do that, you open the door up for that number. It's only $2 higher, but it is up there because momentum's up, the bias is up, and now the trend is up with the market. So we'll see if it can do that. SLV, you need to get a close in this market over the 2218 level, a close. And that gives you the higher lows, higher highs. You're away from the consolidation down here, and you open to go to the second part up there, in my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right, but that's my opinion on it. I was reading about copper. Why did copper take off the past 48 hours like this? And it has to do with mines around the world, but big ones, that are seeing that they are going to not be producing next year as much as they're producing this year. They're going to cut production. So like we see the cartels bring in oil, it appears that they're going to do that in some of these copper mines, and that's picking this market up in anticipation. Again, I want to repeat that we're seeing interest rates around the world, central bankers either doing it or getting ready to start cutting rates to spur on their economies. As they do that, one of the areas you will see is industrial production come alive, and copper goes right with it. Also in cars, you name it, copper's used in everything. TLT, still very bullish. I'm surprised it stayed as well as it did on the first challenge of the Bollinger Band and the 200-day average. Very surprised. It's the fourth day of it, and I have to admit, I thought the market would come down and challenge it earlier. UUP coming apart. This is the dollar. Did you see my dollar report? Any of you? So if you haven't, today's the last day. It goes off the website sometime tonight. Depends on your time zone. The report covers in detail the seasonality of the dollar. I gave you the weekly charts, all of them. I build them with 4 or 5 different charts showing you all the different layers of indicators I put on. Then the daily. Then I'm going to walk you into the price counts to where I think this is headed. I think you're going to find it really interesting. Remember, UUP is based on the dollar futures. And I'll share this. I am bearish. And so far, the report's been very much on the money. Will it stay that way? How the heck do I know? I only hope it's as good as I did in the stock reports that I started in September and then came back later in October and updated. I may eventually do the dollar update, but I just put it out. I'm not going to do an update. In FXE, will you be able to reach up here to the upper band, or are you overbought enough to get a correction? You're in the zone where you're overbought enough. So would I tell a client to buy an overbought condition? No, but 40% of the dollar index, the weight, is of the euro. So as this goes higher, the dollar goes lower. Just remember that. So you put it together, you come up with your game plans, and that's what we try to do, all right? So take a look at the dollar report. I'll catch you all in the morning, 3 more days before we leave for our short Christmas break. I will talk to you all tomorrow morning. Take care.